This exhibition speaks about the School of Fine Arts in Paris. Its first name was the Academy, the School of the Royal Academy. It was founded during the reign of Louis XIV, who is just behind me. And it's a paradox, but when the artists created this academy, they wanted to be free from any power. And to be free, they had to be under the protection of Louis XIV, of the king. And during 1, 2, 3 centuries, it was always the same paradox. They had to bear a power, a political power, and in the same way, because they were French, because they were Parisian, and Paris is capital of freedom, it has been capital of freedom for 3 centuries, they wanted to be free. So even in the 18th century, even during the reign of Louis XIV, Louis XIV was a monarch. He was very proud of himself. He was, as you can see behind me, he was very he was obviously stubborn. He wanted to reign over everything, even under the reign of Louis XIV, and still more in the 18th century. The artists were irreverent. They always were unable to obey. Not all of them, of course, but most of them were very irreverent, very insolent. That's why many became revolutionary during the French Revolution. And they were friends in this time of the Americans living in Paris, like Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin. That's why you will find here artworks by Houdon, the portraitist of George Washington. The sculpture is now in Richmond, Virginia. And that's why you will find many references to French-American artists, because in the 19th century, many artists came from the States to learn art in Paris, especially Sargent, John Singer Sargent, Thomas Eakins, Augustus Saint-Gaudens, and many architects. So you see, there are many links between France and America. But in France, of course, we know especially a very important artist. Louis David was the most important artist at the end of the 19th century, as important as Goya in Spain, and as Goya, he was violently engaged into revolutionary ideas. His best pupil was Monsieur Ingres, Jean-Dominique Ingres. Jean-Dominique Ingres was a great artist in France during all the 19th century. The opponent to the new currents of art in France, Romanticism and then Impressionism at the end of his life. So those characters were so strong that they could be even dangerous for art. They could be too influenced above their pupils. It means that liberty is as difficult to conquer in art than in politics. All the artists, or most of the French artists, were engaged in revolution, but some became very conservative in their art. Gods and Heroes, masterpieces from the École des Beaux-Arts of Paris, at the Albuquerque Museum until January 4th.